Dear friends, welcome back to Anara Healing Space for you. Today, we will walk deeply into one of the most precious teachings of the Buddha, compassion and loving. Compassion is the ability to feel the suffering of others as your own, while loving kindness is the wish that all beings be happy, free, and at peace. The Buddha taught that without compassion, wisdom cannot blossom, and without loving, the heart cannot find true rest. In a world full of noise, judgment, and division, these teachings are not only spiritual ideals, but daily practices that transform our relationships and our lives. Together, we will explore 10 practical ways to live compassion and kindness every single day, so that your heart becomes a source of healing for yourself and others. 1. Start with compassion for yourself. True compassion begins with yourself. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Often, we are harsh with ourselves, criticizing mistakes, clinging to guilt, or chasing impossible perfection. But how can you offer compassion to others if your own heart is wounded? Practice speaking kindly to yourself. Instead of saying, "I am not enough," whisper, "I am learning, I am growing." When you make mistakes, see them as lessons, not life sentences. Treat yourself like a dear friend, patient, gentle, supportive. Self-compassion is not selfish. It is the foundation of all compassion. A heart at peace with itself can radiate peace to others. 2. Listen deeply to others. The Buddha taught that listening with full presence is an act of love. Most people do not need quick solutions. They need to be heard. Deep listening means silencing your inner judgment and opening space for another's story. Sit with them without rushing to interrupt or compare. When you listen like this, compassion blossoms because you feel their humanity. Imagine how healing it is when someone feels truly heard. Their burden lightens. You can offer this gift daily, with family, friends, colleagues, even strangers. Deep listening is medicine for the heart, both theirs and yours. 3. Practice loving speech. Words are powerful. The Buddha said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." Loving speech means using words that heal, not harm. Replace harsh criticism with encouragement. Replace gossip with truth. Replace silence with gratitude. Before speaking, ask, "Will this bring peace?" When words come from compassion, they uplift, strengthen, and connect. You may not always solve problems, but your kind words can become seeds of hope in someone's heart. 4. Recognize shared humanity. Every person carries struggles and dreams. The Buddha reminded us that all beings want happiness and fear suffering. When you see others through this lens, compassion naturally arises. The person who angers you may be carrying hidden pain. The stranger who ignores you may be battling loneliness. When you recognize shared humanity, you stop labeling people as enemies or strangers. Instead, you see brothers and sisters walking the same path of life. This view dissolves judgment and opens the door to kindness. 5. Practice random acts of kindness. Compassion doesn't always require big gestures. Sometimes it is as simple as holding the door, offering a smile, or letting someone go first. The Buddha taught that even small acts, when done with sincerity, bring great merit. Kindness creates ripples. A simple gesture can brighten an entire day. Practice daily, without expecting thanks. The joy of giving is enough. When you choose kindness in small moments, compassion becomes your natural habit. 6. Transform anger into understanding. Anger burns like fire, consuming the one who holds it. The Buddha taught, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. When anger arises, pause and breathe. Ask, what is the suffering behind this anger? Often, beneath anger lies fear, hurt, or unmet needs. When you see this, compassion arises. Instead of reacting with hostility, you respond with patience and empathy. Understanding transforms anger into compassion, and enemies into teachers. 7. Expand compassion beyond family. It is easy to love those close to us. But the Buddha invited us to extend compassion to all beings, even those we may never meet. This is called boundless loving kindness. When meditating, silently repeat, may all beings be happy. May all beings be free. Imagine your compassion expanding like circles in water, from yourself to family to friends, to strangers, and finally to all beings in the universe. This practice dissolves the limits of the heart, teaching us that love knows no borders. 8. Practice forgiveness daily. The Buddha said, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. Forgiveness is compassion in action. Holding grudges chains us to suffering, while forgiveness frees both ourselves and others. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting harm or allowing injustice, but it means releasing the poison of resentment. When you forgive, you reclaim peace. Practice forgiving small hurts every day, the rude comment, the careless mistake. By training in small moments, you prepare your heart for bigger challenges. Forgiveness heals the wound and allows compassion to flow again. 9. Be present with those who suffer. Compassion is not only in words, but in presence. Sometimes, you don't need to fix problems. You just need to stay. Sit with the sick, the grieving, or the lonely. Offer your silence, your touch, your calm presence. The Buddha taught that presence itself can be medicine. When you stay with someone in their suffering, you remind them they are not alone. This presence is a profound act of compassion. 10. Dedicate joy for others. When you experience happiness, don't keep it only for yourself. Dedicate it to others. In Buddhism, this is called sharing merit. When you enjoy a meal, think, may all beings be nourished. When you find peace in meditation, think, may others also find peace. Sharing joy expands it. Your happiness multiplies when you wish it for others. This practice turns personal joy into universal compassion. Dear friends, compassion and loving kindness are not distant ideals. They are daily practices that transform our inner world and our relationships. The Buddha taught that wisdom without compassion is incomplete, and compassion without practice is empty. Begin with yourself, extend to those around you, and let it grow boundless. These 10 ways are seeds you can plant today. With each act of compassion, you bring peace to yourself and healing to the world. May compassion guide your words, your actions, and your steps. May loving kindness fill your days with light. Until next time, dear friends, keep practicing the way of the Buddha. Namaste.